Welcome to Terrier Vision. Kyle Matrician joined alongside Wofford men's basketball assistant coach Tim Johnson. Tim, thanks for taking some time and joining us. We'll get right into the 2015-16 season. The Terriers with quite a tough schedule to start out, going to Mizzou to open the season, at #1 North Carolina at the time, at Georgia Tech. Now get to play 2 of your next 3 at home. So maybe talk about the season so far and what it'll be like to finally get to play some games at home.
Well, tough schedules make tough teams. It's always been a joy and a commodity to be able to play teams like that. And I think none of those games have hurt us. I think they've all helped us moving forward. We didn't win as many as we liked, but I think in every one we got better. And I think that in each one of them we've shown that we can play with anyone. And so it's been a confidence builder for us. And I think once we get into conference games like that, it'll be we'll be able to draw back on those times. And anytime you can step out with Carolina and you're down 5 at half and you feel like you should have been down 2 at half, as well as Georgia Tech, Missouri, and teams like teams like that, I think our team understands that it's only going to be better days for us moving forward. So.
And as you said, a lot of positives so far in this season. And from what I've seen, a lot of times where it seems the Terriers put together a really good half, like played really good 20 minutes, and then in the second half of some of these games, it just got away a little bit. What do you attribute that to? Do you attribute that to just a lot of new guys on the team trying to build new chemistry, trying to work together and putting 40 minutes together, or what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know if I attribute it to anything. I think those teams were very good teams. I also think that sometimes when you win 28 games like we did last year and 20 whatever the year before, sometimes you get spoiled and you forget about the process. And every year you have to hit the reset button and be willing to hit the reset button. And, many of the guys here last year did experience 28 wins, but a lot of them did not with the new guys we have. So. It's a process. It's a process, and we're on a great course. And I think moving forward, we haven't taken one step back. So I think it's a great experience to play those type of games. And 28 wins is very hard to replicate every year, but I do think we're on a great course.
Now, you as a player at Wofford, you got to be part of the first 2 SoCon championship teams. You went to the NCAA tournament, I guess, against Wisconsin down in Jacksonville, a very close game, and then played another competitive close game in Denver against BYU. Then you got the opportunity to come back as an assistant coach, and your first year back as an assistant helped the Terriers to another SoCon championship in 2014, and then again, as you mentioned, last year, 28 wins in 2015. What's it been like for you to not only win and help this program as a player, but come back as an assistant coach and do the same thing?
It's been special being that it's my alma mater, but, to be honest with you, I've had my day in the sun. It was a very bright day, and I loved it, but, this moving forward as a coach and coming back as a coach has been all about the guys, and I'm sort of a fossil figure, if you will, around here, where I can give them my experiences and share with them, and I understand uniquely how Wofford works and what it takes to really be successful here, and it's such a great community, and I don't want I hope those guys not take it for granted, because every place is not like Wofford and things like that, but it's certainly been special just to, like you say, be around it. And this time around, I really don't take it for granted. Not saying I took it for granted as a player, but, it's just so many memories around here. You walk around and every place on campus, every game draws back on some sort of experience that I remember. So it's been very special. But, again, this is not about me, and it's not about Coach Gildner, who's also been a part of those 4 championships. This is all about having those guys enjoy their senior year as much as we did, and just help them along. But it's been great. It's been great. It really has.
Now, you're a former post player at Wofford, now coaching Wofford's big guys in the post. What are some things that maybe you draw back on from your time playing at Wofford that you try to relay to the players on the current roster to help them?
Well, kudos to Coach Young, Mike Young. He's been the best for me, and I've only worked for 2 guys, and they've both been really good to me. I don't know what it's like everywhere else, but I do know under him I've had a special opportunity to grow. So a lot of things that we've done with the post players have been experimental, and thanks, to them for the time they put in and the work ethic they put in. But the things we've done have worked, and we've seen guys get better. They grow, and I think they're happy. And I think that just comes from being a player, being able to play at this level, and a lot of the things that were wrong with my game, I try to fix them through them so they don't make the same mistakes I made or have the same shortcomings that I had. And as well as I had a great post coach here, and Paul Harrison, who's now moved on to Bucknell. He's a great coach, so I take things I learned from him and things I learned from Alan Edwards out at Wyoming, and working with great players out there like Larry Nance, who's now a LA Laker. So it's been just a wealth of just the experience and the time just spent with those type people, and you take it all and you put it together, and then you try to give it to the next person, and the things I learned from them. So it's been a great experience, and hopefully this time next year, the things we can do here as a staff for the post players will be even better moving forward. So,
as you mentioned, you've worked with 2 coaches since your time as a player. Obviously, Mike Young as a player and now as an assistant coach. But you spent 2 years at Wyoming, and it was really your first coaching opportunity, really broke you into the coaching field. Just talk about that experience, traveling all the way out to Wyoming, living there, and how much that has helped you in your coaching role now.
Well, absolutely. I think for anybody making a transition from player to coach, there's got to be a transition, and there's got to be some bumps in the road, and there's got to be some, it's a growth, it's an experience that you have to go through. And Wyoming, it allowed me to do that, and I got lucky to be in the midst of guys that have won national championships, and really I think Larry Shyatt, I know he is a defensive mastermind, and I was able to pick his brain and sit up under him for 2 years and take as much as I could, and I try to I don't want to forget that stuff and what he brings to the table, as well as Scott Duncan and what he does in recruiting, and Jeremy and Allen, and all those guys are just incredible coaches. So I really got lucky. I don't know what you attribute that to, just a pick of the straw, I guess. But, what was your initial question? I'm sorry, I'm reminiscing on Wyoming. But, no, really a great place, and the transitional period that I was able to go through out there is I got lucky. I really did. And, of course, that helps. And to be able to come back and to Wofford from there, again, I'm just a lucky guy. I really am. You can't really draw it up much better. And then to go out there and both those seasons be with terrific coaches who were able to coach a team to 20 games, I can't recall the last time I've experienced anything other than winning. And that's been I've been lucky. Let me knock on some wood, because I know it's not always like that, but I've been very lucky.
All right, Tim, great time talking with you. Good luck the rest of the season. The Terriers, 2 of their next 3 games at home, Kentucky Christian and Coastal Carolina. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Kyle.